Okay, fine. So in our last classes and all, we have finished up to the Prandtl-Meyer expansion and also the linearized potential velocity potential equation for equation due to the compressibility effect occurred due to the shock waves. Okay, so because why the linearized potential equations come in are focused means because of the compressibility effects. There may be a lot of changes happens after the shock wave occurs over a body. So there will be a change in the perturbation potential. The velocity will be changing. So in spite of that, linearized potential equations and all comes into picture. Here the flows over the nozzles. So in flows over this nozzle, first and foremost equation is the area, velocity, and the Mach number relation. So there's a relation for this. Based upon that, if the area is increasing, we will be discussing uh, for a subsonic flow. There is a case like when area increases, velocity decreases. For supersonic flow, the opposite may happen. So these things and all we will see in this session. Okay. So here we will be seeing the quasi one-dimensional flow, area Mach number relation, then convergent divergent nozzle, then choked flow, under expanded and over expanded nozzle, then diffuser and supersonic wind tunnels. Okay. So first quasi one-dimensional flow. So we all know what is a one-dimensional flow. That means the flow will be in the single direction only. So here we can see one duct, constant area duct. In this constant area duct, you can see the area is constant here, and the flow parameters are changing in one direction only. Or the we can consider the direction as x. So the flow parameters will be changing according to the this one direction. There is x direction. That's why it is called one-dimensional flow. But for a variable area duct, we will be the flow will, that means when we are considering the a variable area duct and a three-dimensional flow over this, we can see the parameters are changing, like the fluid parameters are changing in one direction only. That's why we are considering here as p equal to p of x, a equal to area also changing in one direction. That means the area when we are we are increasing the length of the, or when we move along the length of the nozzle, we can see that the area is increasing automatically. Because of this area, we will be experiencing the flow parameters like pressure, temperature, density, and velocity. It is also increased when the area is increasing, or it may change. That means it is not increasing, we can say only the area is changing. Here also we can say the area is changing same way. In spite of this area, or with this area, the pressure flow parameters is also changing. That is called quasi one dimensional flow. So to validate this flow, we are just taking a continued equation only here also, because the mass flow only concentrated here. So whatever the mass flow entering the into this constant area duct or the variable area duct, it will be moving outside also. So we are taking the continued equation only. So rho UA equal to constant. So the differential form of this equation is d rho plus d rho by rho plus du by u plus dA by A equal to 0. Okay. Normally, then we will this equation, this dp by rho, we are having this equation as dp by rho equal to minus u into du. So this equation, it comes after some derivative parts and all. I just neglected those parts just for your simplification only. We are just doing this one alone. Okay, because after this we will consider the momentum equation, and from the momentum equation, here the area pressure over the area will be concentrated. So all those from all those simplifications, we will finalize the equation like dp by d rho equal to minus, that is dp by d rho equal, sorry, dp by rho equal to dp by d rho into d rho by rho, that is equal to minus u into du. So from this we'll substituting here, and also we know from this equation dp by d rho equal to a square. This is from speed of sound equation. So by substituting these two values here, we will get, sorry, you will get a square into dp by, sorry, d rho by rho equal to minus u into du. So a square into d rho by rho equal to minus u into du. So we can straight away put like d rho by rho equal to minus u into du divided by a square. So we can write like this: u, by multiplying and dividing by u, we will get, see here, we can multiply and divide by u. So multiplying and divided by u, we can write like this: u square by a square. So for this u square by a square, we can write like m, that is a Mach number. Mach number equal to v by a. So here use the v. So u square by v a square, we can write m square. Okay. So m square equal to u square by a square. So by substituting here, minus m square into du by u. So now we can see here from this equation, first equation, d rho by rho, we can substitute like minus m square into du by u. Here we have one du by u. So straight away now the equation becomes Mach. Here we have Mach number, velocity, and also area. So all together by simplifying, we will get dA by a equal to m square minus 1 into du by u. So all together the equation becomes area, Mach number, and velocity. So this equation which relates the area, Mach number, and velocity relation. Okay. So simple, actually we have some derivative part here. We will first take one momentum equation, and we will conclude that momentum equation, and also we will take some take the energy equation also. After that only we will compare the both results, and we simplify the equation for, because here you can see in this continuity equation, differential form of this continuity equation, we have the relation for velocity and area. Only thing is we need to convert this differential form of density into Mach number. That's why I have taken this term like dp by rho equal to dp by d rho into d rho by rho. So here we have d rho by rho. So from this we can just write d rho by rho. We also know dp by d rho equal to a square. So that by substituting this, we will get like d rho by rho equal to minus u by a square. Then by multiplying and divide by u, we will get like u square by a square, that is m. So finally we derive like m square. Okay. So the relation becomes Mach number, area, and it will relate Mach number, area, and also the velocity. Okay. Just note this equation: dA by a equal to m square minus 1 into du by u. Noted?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So based upon this relation, we can conclude that that means if the area is decreased for a subsonic, supersonic, and flows and all, while increasing the area, what will happen to the Mach number, and while decreasing the area, what will happen to the Mach number, that we can conclude here. Okay. For that purpose only we are deriving this equation. So here you can see, once again, see anyone somebody posted some problems in gate. We can solve that problem. I will solve it and I will come back to you, okay, after the session and all. Just send that problems individually to me. Okay, so here we have a condition like, if Mach number m is less than 1 for a subsonic flow, what will happen? What the equation will be? You can see here, by substituting Mach number 1, the equation becomes negative. Okay, so if I can write the formulas again here, dA by A equal to m square minus 1 into du by u. Okay, so that is equal to, once if suppose the value of m is less than 1 means, automatically we can say the equation becomes minus du by u. So that if the velocity is increased, for an increase in velocity there will be some decrease in area, and for a decrease in velocity we will be having a increase in area, okay, for subsonic flow. So that for a subsonic compressible flow we will have a like for a subsonic flows and all, the nozzles will be like this only. If you want to increase the velocity, we need to have a convergent duct, and for decreasing the velocity we should have a divergent duct. Okay, so for a subsonic flow, to increase the velocity we need a convergent duct, so that the area should be decreased, and for decreasing the velocity, this is for increasing the velocity. Okay, for decreasing the velocity the area should be increased. Just note this thing also, for subsonic flow the nozzle should be convergent, the diffuser is divergent. Okay, noted. We know if m less than 1 means automatically it is a subsonic flow only. So automatically by substituting here also we can straight away say, by for increasing the velocity we need a decreased area only. That means if area need to be decreased, then the duct should be, or the nozzle should be in the like convergent form only. Or for increasing area automatically it will be like divergent. The area should be in or the it should be divergent only for yeah, the diffuser. The function of the diffuser is to decrease the velocity. So for diffuser, subsonic diffuser, we need to design a divergent diffuser. Okay, for subsonic flow. And for supersonic flow, for the condition for supersonic flow, we know Mach number greater than 1. So by substituting the value here greater than 1, we will get a positive value here. And for increasing the velocity, if we increase the velocity we need to increase the area, and if we decrease the velocity, or to decrease the velocity we need a convergent area. Okay, or decreased area. Okay, that's why in a supersonic flow we will be using a divergent nozzle, or we can say convergent divergent nozzle, and convergent diffuser. To decrease the area, we need a, decrease the velocity, we need a convergent diffuser, and to increase the area, increase the velocity, we need a divergent nozzle. Okay. Then one more thing, if you substitute the value of m equal to 1 here, automatically this term it will become 0. So dA by A will become 0. So if dA by A 0 means the area should be minimized, or we need to have a minimized area when Mach number equal to 1. Okay. That means when Mach number is less than 1, we have seen one condition. We can see we got values like negative values here. So that when velocity increases, area decreases, or when velocity decreases, area increases. In supersonic flow, we got a positive value here, that is du by u here is a positive value, so that velocity increases, automatically area increases, and velocity decreases, automatically area decreases. But when Mach number equal to 1, that is a sonic velocity, what will be happening means, by substituting the value of 1 here, 1 minus 1 equal to 0, so that the area is dA by A equal to 0. What it represents means, we need to have a reduced area when Mach number will be equal to 1. That's why the throat area is reduced, or throat area is minimum. Okay. Then next is the area Mach number relations, or we can say area ratio. So this is also one of the important derivation, but we need this final formula only. But I will say how. See here, A star, the star terms, it denotes the throat area. Okay. And here consider this, we can have two areas here. One is area at the inlet, we can say area at the inlet, or the area at the divergence section. Here in this diagram we have two areas. One they have selected at the here, that area is called the throat area. I will mention as T, and here it is region 1 over the divergent part of the nozzle. So in this divergent part of the nozzle, we can have the area as, the area will be A, and the Mach number over it is m, and the velocity will be u. But at the throat, the area is A star. For the throat, we will mention the area is A star, so that the Mach number will be m star, that will be equal to 1, and the velocity is will be equal to u star is equal to A star, because m star equal to 1, then u star will be equal to A star. If it is like this, then the velocity will be called characteristic Mach number, characteristic velocity. Okay. So here also in nozzles and all, only we will consider the mass flow rates only. So automatically we can easily say, we can choose the continuity equation only. For here also, for deriving this area ratio, we are using this continuity equation only. See, this area ratio is very much important. Just note this formula, because so many problems will be related to this area ratio only. In nozzle problems and all, we need this area ratio, and also some sometimes they will ask like shocks in the nozzle also. For shocks in the nozzles and all, they won't consider the area and all. Only thing, sometimes they may ask the length of the shock where the shock is standing and all. That time we need to derive the area ratio, or we need to substitute the values for area ratio. I need to find the Mach number, and we need to find the area. After that only we can say where the shock is, and at what like location the normal shock is there. Okay. Sometimes in some problems and all. So here we have two region. One is the throat region, another is the divergent region, and we have considered the continuity equation for this, for deriving this. So rho star u star A star equal to rho ua. So from this A by, we need only the area ratio. That's why we are taking A by A star. So A by A star equal to rho star into, yeah, here it will come like this, rho star into U star divided by rho into U. So we know U star equal to A star, so that we can straight away substitute like rho star by rho into A star by U. So for expanding this equation, we can just take multiply and divide by rho naught. Okay. So by multiplying and divide by rho naught, we will get like this, rho star by rho naught into rho naught by rho into A star by U. Do you guys know what is the equation for rho naught by rho? Stagnation ratio for a stagnation density. Rho naught by rho. Anyone? Any idea? Anyone know what is the ratio of stagnation temperature to static temperature? See, three formulas. I have already told you this formulas, I think so. P naught by P also. So
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. T naught upon T is equal to 1 plus gamma minus 1
yes,
m
1
square
plus gamma minus 1
gamma minus
into
1
gamma minus 1
upon
divided by
2
2 into,
2
yes,
m
m
square.
square. Okay. This is
Rho
for
naught by rho
T naught by T. If for rho naught by rho means, above this we will have
bracket
1
में
by gamma minus 1.
gamma
This is
minus 1.
from thermodynamics relations only. So we can
Yes,
straight
sir.
away put like this. Okay. So rho naught by rho is 1 plus gamma minus 1 divided by 2 into m square whole power 1 by gamma minus 1. So we can substitute the value of rho naught by rho here. Okay. And we have another one value like a star by u, and another one term like rho star by rho. So we know the value for rho naught by rho, so that based upon this equation we can easily find the value for rho naught by rho star. So rho naught by rho star, what will get for rho naught by rho star means density at the throat region. So that the Mach number will be, the formula will be like this only, same formula only, 1 plus gamma minus 1 divided by 2 into, for m we can substitute like 1 square whole power 1 by gamma minus 1. Okay, 1 by gamma minus 1. So the equation becomes rho by rho star equal to uh, gamma plus 1 divided by 2 whole power 1 by gamma minus 1. Okay. So from this equation, rho star by rho equal to 2 by gamma minus 1 into whole power 1 by gamma minus 1. Same way for rho naught by rho we have. Finally we need the equation for a star by u. From energy equations and all, we can from energy equation we will derive the equation for a star by u. That is a big thing. Now we don't need that part and all, only the thing we need the relation only. So a star by u, a star by u equal to, sorry not this, u by a star the whole square equal to m star square, that is equal to 1 plus gamma plus 1 divided by 2 m square So for u by a star the whole square equal to, we can straight away we can put like the m star square. So for m star square we can substitute like this. That is a formula for m star square equal to gamma plus 1 divided by 2 into m square divided by 1 plus gamma minus 1 divided by 2 into m square. Just note this equation also, okay, because these three equations you will be needing this equation for solving problems and all. This is the relation for m star square and m square, okay. Actually this is a big derivation, no need of that derivative part and all here. If you want I can solve those derivative part another one day, but now for us no need of this. Noted?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So by substituting the value of rho star by rho not the whole square, then rho naught by rho the whole square, then a star by u the whole square, we can derive the equations like a by a star the whole square equal to 1 by m square into 2 by gamma plus 1 into 1 plus gamma minus 1 divided by 2 into m square whole power gamma plus 1 divided by gamma minus 1. Just note this also. So someone asked in a gate group like to find the one problem like to find the flow Mach number in a pipe. A Venturi nozzle is built into the pipe. The measured values of pressures P1 and P2 at the inlet and throat of Venturi are 1.5 atmospheric and 1.2 atmospheric respectively. Inlet area by throat area equal to 4 by 3. Find M1 and M throat. Now will you able to find the answer for that? Students, see here we have the relations like a by a star equal to 1 by m square into 2 by gamma plus 1, 1 plus gamma minus 1 divided by 2 into m square, gamma plus 1 divided by gamma minus 1. So they have given the value like a by a star equal to 4 by 3, okay. Inlet to, for that sum we need to take like this, some duct or some Venturi tube where this is ai, this is the inlet area, and this is a star, okay, the throat area. So ai divided by a star, that is equal to 4 by 3. ai divided by a star equal to, this is star, okay, ai divided by a star equal to 4 by 3. So we can straight away substitute here, and this will be m1, okay. For that sum, particular sum, we need to put like this is this m as m1, so that we will get the value like, we know the value of gamma equal to 1.4. So by substituting the value of gamma here, and we know the value of 4 by ai by a star here. So 4 by 3 the whole square equal to 1 by m1 square, 2 divided by 1.4 plus 1, that is 2.4 into 1 plus 0.4 divided by 2 into m1 square whole power, some value will get. From this we need to solve this and find the value of m1. After finding the value of m1, we can straight away substitute the value of m1 here, m1 in this equation, so that we can easily find the value for m star square. So this is how we need to find the value of m star and m, that is m star means throat. Okay, so there they have given like a m throat, that problem what you have posted in WhatsApp group, they have given like m throat, but here we have m star. For throat we will provide like the notation. In some books they will provide like m star, some books they will provide mt. Okay, both are correct only. If it is m throat, mt is also same only, so you can use these two equations only, m star square equation and also a by a star equation. Okay, in some books they may ask like this, find the velocity of characteristic velocity. uh, okay, then same thing only. After finding m star, we can I need to substitute the value here, and we can find the value for the characteristic velocity. Okay, do you guys noted this noted this two formulas? Finished?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so uh, if they asked for this type of sums means, you can just straight away you need to by heart this two formulas. Okay, if you guys find any difficulties in by hearting these formulas, I can derive this equation for this a by a star by u one day, so that it will be easy for you. You can just remember that also. So this thing I have already explained, but once again I will say. So for subsonic values of Mach number, if you are providing a Mach number less than 1, we will be getting the area ratios, like the area ratio value will be decreased value only, so that the duct will be a converging duct. And for Mach number equal to 1, then the area ratio will be equal to 1. That means we will not provide like 1, we will be providing a minimum area for the throat. Okay, then for supersonic values of Mach number increases, that means Mach number is increasing only, but the area ratio also increases according to the supersonic values, so that the duct diverges. Okay, so just to remember like this, for subsonic flow, when the area is decreased, we will be having an increased velocity, but for supersonic flow, only when the area is increased only we will get a increased flow. Okay, so next thing is it is also important thing. We have seen some
Sir,
relations like
please
p naught.
turn
Yes,
previous slide.
yes.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. See, this is for nozzle. If n will be mentioned for nozzles. Okay, and Mach number less than 1, here Mach number greater than 1, that means for subsonic and supersonic flow, and supersonic flow. But for diffuser means, diffuser for subsonic flow opposite happens. Okay, this is here for diffuser opposite happens. Okay, then convergent divergent nozzle. So we all studied subsonic nozzle and supersonic nozzles, as we all know that for a subsonic flow, when area decreases, automatically velocity increases, and for a supersonic flow, when area increases, automatically the velocity increases. Okay, so that if a subsonic flow enters into the nozzle, it will become sonic here. After that, when it reaches the outside or at the exit, we will be having a supersonic flow region here. And now we will see how it is related to area ratio and how the pressure ratios and all, because here we are considering a reservoir here, so that it will be maintained at the reservoir will be maintained at some pressure ratios, okay, stagnant pressure ratios. That's why we are putting like a P naught and T naught here. So this is the inlet session, this is the throat session, and this is the exit session. After that, here it will be the atmospheric pressure, so that the pressure here will be, we will mention it PB. In some books and all, they will mention like PB, back pressure, okay. That is the atmospheric pressure only. So here in atmosphere, there will be some pressure value. Here also, here we have some pressure values. When this exit pressure, here we have the exit pressures, like when this is the exit pressure. So when this exit pressure is less than this atmospheric pressure, some amount of flows will be entered into the nozzle, okay. So we all know that when the both things are equal, there won't be any flow exits inside the nozzle. So as we know that the flows will be flown from, or the fluid will be flown from some higher pressure to lower pressure, higher level to lower level. The temperature also, it flows from higher temperature to lower level temperature, okay. Same way here also, here it is when the pressure is reduced here, automatically the exit pressure means pressure inside the nozzle is reduced, automatically flow will get enter inside the nozzle, okay. See here we have different pressure ratios, like P1 divided by P naught, P1 divided by P naught, then P2 divided by P naught, and P3 divided by 3 naught, sorry, P naught, okay. So up to this three pressure ratios, what will happen? First, the pressure ratio is P1 divided by P naught, okay. When this pressure ratio exits, automatically there's some amount of flow will be introduced into the nozzle, okay. But it enters into the nozzle, the speed of the flow will be increased when it reaches the throat. After that, it gets slowed down, okay, because the area is reducing. When we further reduce the pressure ratio, that means the exit pressure ratio, automatically the flow will be, the velocity of the flow will be increased here, some amount of mass will again enter, the flow will be increased here. When this pressure ratio, we will be having some Mach number, some subsonic only, we will have some Mach number as like 0.7, means when we increase when we decrease the pressure ratio, like P2 divided by P naught, some more, we will be getting the second for second exit pressure, we will be getting like a 0.8, okay. In the actual process, so many pressure ratio, if you are continuously reducing the pressure, automatically flow will get entered into the nozzle, and it will be, the velocity of the flow will be increased up to the throat, and it will get decreased after when it enters to the divergent section, okay. But here in this diagrams and all, in this graphs and all, we are picturizing only three values. So these three values is P1, P2 and P3. When this pressure ratio reaches, some amount of flow will be increased, so the velocity of the flow is somewhat increased up to the throat, and then it is decreased because of the divergence session. Same for P2 also, but the velocity is still it is increased than the P1, okay. When we increase the, or when we decrease the pressure ratio, like P3, what will happen? Automatically, that is a P divided by P naught is equal to 0.528, okay. The flow of the at this point, what will happen? The Mach number will become equal to 1. At the throat, the Mach number will be equal to 1. Then afterwards, the flow is still it is reducing only. Okay. But when we when we decrease the pressure ratios like P4, P5, P6 and all, we will be getting that means up to this only mass flow enters into the nozzle. Okay. Hereafter, this exit pressure which it won't communicate with the inlet pressures and all. The pressure inside the pressure inside the reservoir. Okay. So only thing is after this here the at the throat the Mach number will be equal to 1 only, no matter what the pressure ratio is. At the throat the Mach number will be equal to 1. So this condition, when we are decreasing the pressure ratios like P5 and P4, P5, P6 and all, the Mach number at the throat is not changing. It will be maintained constant at 1. That type of flow is called choked flow. So in a choked flow, the Mach number will be maintained constant at the throat, and the exit pressure it won't communicate with the inlet pressures. That is a P naught. Okay. But we are if the pressure is again reducing, what will happen means here the Mach number is m equal to 1 only. So automatically in the divergence session the flow will be supersonic. Okay. So when it becomes supersonic, shock just emanates here somewhere in the divergence session of the nozzle. Okay. So but the shock formed inside the nozzle is normal shock only. There is a problem. So what will happen here, you can see if the exit pressure has been reduced to PE4, where the PE4 is less than PE3, that means PE3 is greater, PE4 will be lesser. So what will happen, some shock will be formed. The shock formed inside the nozzle is normal shock, because after here it reaches m equal to 1 throat Mach number, that is equal to 1. So that in a divergence session for a supersonic flow, automatically Mach number increases, so that shock may formed inside the nozzle. Okay. But the shock it will move when we further reduce the pressure exit pressure. What will happen means this shock will move towards the end. But we know if a shock is formed inside the nozzle like this, after the shock the definitely the pressure ratio will increase, and also the Mach number will be decreased, because for a normal shock, after the shock the Mach number will be decreasing only after the shock is bended and form into a oblique shock, the Mach number will increase. Okay, after the shock. So up to P6 and all, the up to that pressure ratios, what will happen means if we see we have seen up to P4. Okay. So after P4, if we decrease the pressure like a P5 and all, the shock formed here, it will move up to here, up to this level, and it will be at the end of the nozzle. Okay, like this. If we extend up to the P6, then it will be like the shock will be at the end of the exit of the nozzle. So that P5 will be equal to P6. That the exit pressure will be equal to P6. So when we reduce the shock further, or the exit pressure will be equal to the back pressure. When we reduce the shock further, what will happen means, or the pressure further, the shock will be bended and it will be formed like a oblique shock like this. Okay. Do you guys understand what I said up to this? Anyone? Any? Hello? Guys? Students?
Sir, I have a doubt, sir.
Yes.
Sir, after reaching choked condition at throat, from throat to diverging passage, what decides whether it is supersonic or it will be subsonic, sir? How to decide, sir?
Actually, that's why I have said here. See, when we have like pressure ratios like 0.508 and all, sorry, 528, the flow will be choked. That means at the throat we will be getting the Mach number equal to 1. Okay. If you are further reducing the flow means also, that means further reducing the pressure means automatically here we will be getting like a supersonic flow achieves here. Okay. After the throat we will be getting supersonic flow if you are reducing the pressure further. That's why P4, P5 and P6 and all we will be having supersonic flows. But still only after the normal shocks leaves the nozzle we will be getting the supersonic expansion. Okay. Otherwise we will be having the like here in the divergence session after the shock we will be this area we will getting supersonic flow. After the shock we will be getting subsonic flow only. That is the problem. So we need to see here we have, so after up to this we will be having supersonic. After that we will be getting the like subsonic flow only. Okay, the expansion will be subsonic only. Okay, so expansion means that the flow after that will be subsonic only. Okay, that's why we will be reducing the flow, then reducing the pressure further and further, and we will be the pressure will be equal to P6. Then what will happen, this shock will be moved to that the normal shock formed inside the nozzle is moved to the end of the nozzle, that is the exit of the nozzle, that is mentioned here. Okay.
So if we increase the pressure, then we will get a subsonic flow after throat. If we decrease it, we will be getting like shock and like
Yes.
that. You are telling.
Yes, if you are decreasing the pressure only we will be getting everything. Okay.
Inside the nozzle even, is there a possibility of getting oblique shocks?
Inside the nozzle, no. After that only we will be getting. Suppose if you are having supersonic flows on no, you won't get, because at the inlet on inlet itself we have subsonic flow only, so automatically we'll be having this types of flows only inside the nozzles. Okay. That's why the expansion regions and all we will be seeing like if the exit pressure is less than 1 we will be having that under expanded, over expanded and fully expanded regions like that. Okay. So anyone tell what is under expanded nozzle?
Sir, PA less than PB.
P less than PB. Okay, that is called under expanded. What is over expanded?
Sir, no sir, under expanded means sir PA is smaller or PA is
yes,
smaller.
under expanded means we couldn't get you. Once again repeat.
Sir, under expanded PA is less than PB, and over expanded PA is greater than PB.
PA is greater than PB. Okay. Okay, fine. So then what is fully expanded?
No sir, we didn't.
If P is equal to the PB, then the nozzle will be fully expanded. Okay. So anyone have any doubt about this? Just note this values and all. What is see here from here? When the throat Mach number is 1, the throat pressure will be equal to 0.528 of P naught. Just note that.
Sir, one doubt, sir.
Yes.
Sir, in isentropic relation, actually, in that case also, M star we studied, no, sir. Like M star, based on M star, P star. In that, if we see if flow is supersonic, M star ca- M star will be can be greater than one, sir. But if uh, if the flow is subsonic, M star will be less than one. Some condition will be there.
Yes. Actually, if the flow is subsonic, we have like one condition is like that only. That means
Uh,
if the flow is like subsonic means M star,
in this case
that
also like
means
that,
at the
sir.
throat
Then
the Mach number will be less than 1 only. That
in
is,
this case also then like that,
uh,
sir.
I couldn't get
In
you.
this case,
Once again
so in
repeat
this
your
case
question.
also, so,
Ah,
sir, in subsonic we know like M star will be less than one, sir.
yes.
Right. So in this CD nozzle also, if left side, if the flow is subsonic, then M star will be less than one, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, sir. Actually, that is correct only. That's why we have the variations like this. See, these are the variations because of the M star is less than 1 only. After the M
Okay.
star reaches 1 only, we will be having the conditions like this and all.
So, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
These things will emerge after the M star reaches 1 only. Okay. So here we have if P6 is, that means exit pressure is greater than the back pressure. That is the back pressure is the atmospheric pressure. Then that condition is called under expanded nozzle. The nozzle will be said to be under expanded. Okay. If P is less than atmospheric pressure, that is the exit pressure is less than atmospheric pressure, then that is called over expanded condition. Okay. Just see here. This is P is less than atmospheric pressure. Okay. Here P is greater than PB. This is for under expanded. This is for over expanded. Just note like this. No need of this P6 and all. Just write like P less than PB. Over expanded. P greater than PB. Under expanded. Okay. Finish. Noted.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So we can wind up here. Tomorrow or day after tomorrow we can have our next class. I will mention in your group. Okay. So try to solve that sum. What you have posted as a doubt. If that answer is not coming means just intimate me so that I will solve that sum and I will come back to you. Okay.
Sir, one clarification, sir. In GATE 2021, they asked some from moving shock, sir. Is moving shock a portion of GATE, sir?
Actually, moving shock is not a portion of our gate.
But in 2021, one question they asked me, sir, related to moving shocks.
Okay, I will check that question and I will tell you. Okay. You see, sometimes they may ask like this also. Sometimes some question I have come across one question like a moving shock only, but they will mention like the behavior of the shark. They won't mention the behavior of shark. They will mention it is a moving shark, but they will mention the values aft and after only. They will ask like we need to find um, the behavior after the shock or the properties changed after the shock, and they will give the like, conditions like before the shocks. Okay.
Like they asked like a shock is moving and then shock is stationary and they changed the frame of reference, sir. Like that they asked
Okay,
the
okay.
question. So
Okay. Okay, then I will check
that
and
I
I will
did.
come back to you. Yeah, we can have some sessions over that also. Okay, for moving
Hello,
shocks.
sir.
Actually, moving shocks, I don't think so. In your syllabus, we have moving shocks and all.
Oh, okay.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir. These classes, please, sir, within the 24 hours, sir, recorded classes to provide, sir.
What? The
I
24
want, sir,
hours?
this, within the 24 hours, this class, sir, recorded provide, sir, in portal, sir.
Yes. Okay. 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 I have
We got
recorded this
many,
class also.
yes, sir, many classes not recorded in, sir, in your dynamic, sir.
No, actually, in last two classes, in this class and the previous class only, I have sent that. Other all I have uploaded.
That's why I'm speaking, sir.
Yes, I have uploaded other all things and all. Okay. This class and the previous class only I haven't uploaded because I haven't converted it. That's why. I will send it today.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Any other doubts?
No, sir.
Okay. Okay. We can wind up here.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.